Algoma Manitoulin Kapuskasing MP Carol Hughes says transportation links that service northern and rural communities cannot be treated as an afterthought by the government. Hughes raised these concerns at a consultation meeting with the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Transport, as she pointed out that the department's focus on transportation has been geared towards urban centres at the expense of more isolated communities. Hughes said businesses and medical service providers that relied on Greyhound buses to transport goods and lab samples have lost that option, and lost services also unfairly impact seniors, Indigenous communities, and those who don't have access to a vehicle. In calling for a comprehensive national transportation strategy, Hughes also cited the Bear Train for the Missinaibi Cree First Nation and the passenger services between Sault Ste Marie and Hearst that the Coalition for Algoma Passenger Trains is trying to reinstate. Demand for newly legal pot appears to be outstripping supply as retailers ran low on some products or were cleaned out completely, manifestations of a shortfall that some provinces warned could last for months. Manitoba Liquor and Lottery said yesterday that it is expecting product shortages in both brick and mortar and online stores could last up to at least 6 months. A spokesperson for the Manitoba Crown Corporation said in an email that every province, not just Manitoba, is receiving substantially less cannabis than originally requested. Retailers in Manitoba will be receiving staggered shipments over the next few weeks, some daily, in an effort to meet their requests. A BC Liquor Distribution Branch spokesperson said that shortages are and were expected to impact all jurisdictions across Canada as some licensed producers look to opportunities in overseas markets. The federal government has no intention of sending anyone to a major investment conference in Saudi Arabia next week at a time when Riyadh is the target of global outrage. And one source insists Ottawa never had plans to dispatch a delegation. Yesterday, a senior government insider said cabinet ministers, federal officials, and embassy staff will skip the Future Investment Initiative in Riyadh. This year's event comes as Saudi Arabia faces intense global pressure following the disappearance and apparent death of Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi citizen and U.S. resident who has written critically of the Saudi regime. In recent days, key international figures have announced their canceled plans to attend the Saudi summit. They include top business executives, U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, European cabinet ministers, International Monetary Fund head Christine Lagarde, and World Bank President Jim Yong Kim. On the bilateral front, Canada's relationship with Saudi Arabia has deteriorated significantly since the summer. If you recall, back in August, Riyadh suspended diplomatic ties with Canada and expelled the Canadian ambassador after Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland criticized the regime on Twitter for its arrest of social activists. Ontario's former Progressive Conservative leader is defending the nearly $300,000 he spent on support staff and office operations after resigning from the party helm earlier this year, saying it was in line with legislative rules and involved severance payments to staff. A government document leaked yesterday shows Patrick Brown, who's running for mayor in Monday's municipal election in Brampton, carried out the spending in his final 2 months as a legislator when he sat as an independent following his removal from Tory caucus. The spending report captures expenses from outgoing legislators in the 2018-19 fiscal year. It shows Brown, who didn't seek re-election, spent $206,956 on support staff salaries, $53,271 on office operations, and $16,426 on communications from April 1st to June 7th when the provincial vote was held.